We've got to do a better job of getting across that America is freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of enterprise, and freedom is special and rare.
America was targeted for attack because we're the brightest beacon for freedom and opportunity in the world. And no one will keep that light from shining.
You never think your cousin gonna be the one who gonna get shot by the police. We went to the city council meeting. I said, we have questions that we need answers. I'm not saying my cousin was perfect because he was in and out of jail, so you automatically assume he a thug. But what happened to my cousin was overkill. From my understanding, my cousin was like this when he got shot. So the police officers who shot my cousin, guess what they said? I was in fear for my life. My cousin wasn't 120 pounds soaking wet with snow boots on. Okay, he was shot in his arm, he was shot in his chest, he was shot in the back of his head. The moment you hit him and he's falling back like this, the threat is gone. I'm trying to figure out how you had two officers who shot my cousin. They weren't off from work 3 months, they're back on the job, but you want me to have trust in this system that is gonna work in my favor. My personal experiences with the law, they've been good and bad. I went to jail for speeding. I think the speed limit was maybe 30, and I think I was going 34, and he said that they don't play that there. I've been taken to jail for something I had nothing to do with. I've been pulled over. I've had them tear my car up once before. I'm like Fannie Lou Hamer. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I have the same rights and privileges that you have.
For our streets. In many respects, we're getting very much tougher on the truly bad criminals, of which unfortunately there are many. But we're treating people differently for different crimes. Some people got caught up in situations that were very bad.
We can see that white males are the largest number of fatalities of all victims of fatal police shootings at 38%. However, we can see that black males are the second smallest segment of all males within the country at 7%. However, they represent the second largest share of all victims of fatal police shootings at 21%. In fact, black males are killed by police officers at 3 times their relative share within the national population and are
standing on the street. And of course, the precedence here is that it's about whether or not someone is suspected of engaging in a felony. And I think part of recognizing what that means is that it gives officers a lot of discretion to make a justification for who they perceive to be engaging in a felony and what type of felony they perceive them to be engaging in. And so in many respects, they're actually able to at times make decisions as they're going along. And even though we're focusing on these set of cases as it relates to this particular stat, and I don't want people to forget this stat, that African-American men compared to white men are about 4 times more likely to be killed by the police when they're not attacking, nor when they have a weapon.
These are their stories.
Hi, I'm Chris Schragle. Can I please get your name and your grade?
My name's Katie Pearson. I'm a senior.
Okay, first and foremost, I want to hear your opinion. Is police over-enforcement or police abuse in general still a big issue in the United States? And if so, are specific people being targeted over others?
Yes, I think so, and especially minority groups in the United States are being targeted.
How can any of these things that have been talked about be prevented? Can they be prevented, or are they permanently part of society that we need?
I think unfortunately they're part of society just because of the way this country was brought up, maybe, and it's a terrible thing, but I don't think it can be changed. I think it's just something that's part of society.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris Trejo. Could I get your name and grade?
Ethan Bond, and I'm a senior.
First and foremost, I want to hear your opinion. Is police over-enforcement or police abuse in general still a big issue in the United States? And if so, are specific people being targeted over others?
I think yes, it is an issue. I feel like the police has too much power over people. And yeah, I do think mostly minorities are like targeted.
And for the second question, I'll present you with a little factoid. A statement by Fatal Encounters expresses that on average, in the US, a police officer takes the life out of an American citizen every 7 hours. Why do you think that statistic exists? And do you think, like you said regarding the last question, those specific minority groups are the ones dying?
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't really think it's racism. There's just like stereotype that minorities are criminals, and so they treat them very differently, and I think that's why there's like overreactions and people are just getting shot over little minor like crimes.
Right. And going off of that, does the appearance of a person perhaps dictate how an officer will treat them or talk to them?
Yeah, I think so.
In what specific ways?
There's just like the stereotypes that like minorities are criminals, and it's not true. None of it's true. It's just how they think of it, I guess.
And of any of the things we've talked about, do you think any of this can be prevented, or do you think it's permanently embedded into American society?
I think it can be prevented. Well, not really prevented, but like changed for the better, and just change like how we think of people, I guess. I don't know.
Thanks for your time, Ethan. First of all, I want to hear your opinion. Is police over-enforcement or police abuse in general still a big issue in the United States?
I don't think so. I think that next can be true.
Does the appearance of a person perhaps dictate how...
Boy, if you don't get...
Hi, my name is Chris Trejo. Could you please tell me your name and what grade you're in?
My name is Quincy Clinton, and I am a senior at Grade 6 National High School.
And first question, I want to hear your opinion. Is police over-enforcement or police abuse in general still a...
Hit him with the low kick.